Oh my, Chrome, Vancity Vanlife, one of the greatest nomads that we know of out there right now. Channel is just good. It's great. It's wonderful. Vancity Vanlife Chrome, up there in Canada, it's minus 30 degrees, which is something like minus 22 Fahrenheit. I mean, it's just darn cold, okay? It's really cold. And he has some issues with his van, and it's just a mess. It's a bad morning, a very bad morning for Mr. Chrome. Here's a tow truck that has come to tow his vehicle into the shop to have it looked at. Man, it's just like, you know, he wakes up like, I don't know, before the sun comes up. It's cold. You know, he realizes that there's some issues with the cold. It's like minus. I don't know what. He did have the temperature inside the vehicle, and it's like way below freezing. Cruz's ice, water buckets there. His water bowls are all filled up. And anyway, long story short. Something happens, all the power in the van goes out, he's in the dark in the back. The van does start, but it's making this funny noise and he doesn't want to keep running it. He's thinking he might do damage to the engine if the coolant is not cooling properly and all this other stuff. So he, huddles up with the crews and tries to keep him warm. And luckily he is in a parking lot here. There is, I don't know, it looked like some sort of a building. It's a rest stop or something. So there is a building he can go to get a little bit of heat. He's not out in the middle of nowhere. And the other thing interesting is he goes, before he calls the tow truck, he's looking for a heater block in the engine. Because he bought this van a while back and he's never had to worry about that. Up in the north, you need a heater block. If it's really super cold at night, you plug it in and it warms up your engine so you can park outside and at least, it start it up the next morning and the coolant and all that will work. Anyway, he can't find any evidence of that. So then he gets on the phone, gets inside a little bit of shelter there, calls up, gets the British Columbia AAA to come out, or Automobile Association to come out and tow him in to a shop. There's Mr. Chrome at a Goodyear there up in British Columbia. And it turns out, I don't want to spoil the whole video because you need to go watch it. It's a good video. It's actually pretty good. Turns out to be a relatively minor problem. And he does find out that he did have a heater block and just the power cord for it was kind of stuck up under the bumper and he couldn't find it. So it's nice to know that, so that if it's really going to be a super cold night, he can park it somewhere where there's an electrical outlet and at least keep the engine warm. Or as he said, if he knew it was going to get that cold up there in wherever he was parked there, a couple hours outside of Vancouver, he would have probably just left the vehicle running all night just so it, kept the battery charging and all that other stuff. So anyway, everything turned out okay. Wasn't any major problems. I won't tell you what the issue was. He could probably have driven the vehicle, but it made a funny noise and he didn't want to do it because there was a relatively minor issue with it. But anyway, everything worked out good for Vancity Vanlife and his doggy Cruz, right? Yeah, I keep trying to say Disco. No, Disco passed away a couple years ago. It's Cruz now. So anyway, yeah. Yeah. So good to know if it's hey, it's been an absolutely brutally cold winter there for much of the American Midwest and especially up into Canada. And he usually hunkers down closer to Vancouver where it doesn't get that cold, but for some reason he was out there and anyway, so good video there from Mr. Chrome. And speaking of our other one of our other favorite Canadian nomads, Foresty Forest, they're busy upgrading his new van with a refrigerator and a high output alternator. Stuff that he's been waiting on for quite a while, and it finally all came. And so he's got his crock pot there, and everything's good for him. And he's doing a little better. He's a little more used to the bitter cold than I think Chrome is. Chrome's more of a city boy, but it just, these videos here, just like, oh, God. 22 Celsius ain't bad, though. You know, that's certainly more than 22 Fahrenheit. And, of course, some more work on his van there. So, yeah, that 22 Celsius was, I believe, the indoor temperature. So, yeah, which is, I don't know, 50 degrees, 60 degrees. I don't want to, it just seems silly. Why don't we all just switch over to the one temperature? You know, I realize most of the world does Celsius, and America just hangs along with the Fahrenheit. I don't know. We gotta just make this flip and be like everybody else and just have one temperature for everybody. Wouldn't that be easier? Come on. The reason is because the media, you know, when it's hot, it's over 100 degrees sounds so much more scary than it's gonna be 35. You know what I'm saying? Oh, it's going to be boiling out tomorrow. 35 degrees doesn't sound as scary as it's going to be 110. That's the only reason I think we keep the Fahrenheit. It's the media. It's better to hype. It's easier to hype that. We got Trip and Traci jumping in the shower there. I guess everyone is jealous because Unstoppable Morgan apparently did a shower video back in October. And I don't know if she put it on Patreon or whatever, but she said she made $10,000 with it or something like that. I don't know. It's more than that. $100,000, $1 million, $100,000, whatever. She made a lot of money on a shower video. So, you know, we're all trying to put up our own versions of shower videos to see if we can't make some money. And Trippin' Traci does. Trippin' is drippin'. It's kind of, you know, she's having some fun with it. It's kind of a fun video. And anyway, so, yeah. Anyway, I don't want to show too much of it because the bots. You never know with the YouTube bots. But here she is getting ready to go in the shower. It's a good video. Check it out. She is pretty funny. Trippin' Traci. I don't want the bots. You know, you can't talk to a bot, and the bot will see. You know, this. Oh, Camo Dave's putting up. Okay, real quick. There we go. A shower video. Yeah. Anyway, it's safe. Don't worry about it. It's PG rated. Anyway, check it out. Trippin' Traci in the shower. Well, I'm waiting for her to get back on the road. Okay, we got some common sense advice here from Papa Texas. You know, they still have a lot of people without power down in Texas, apparently from the all those ice storms and cold weather and snow and all that crap. A lot of folks down there are in the dark, especially if, you know, well, if you have a vehicle, you know, I don't know, you know, you can. If the sun comes out, you can put your solar panels, chip the ice off. I don't know. Anyway, good stuff from Papa Texas on how to prepare for the cold weather and ice and power outages and stuff like that. You know, have some of those jackeries around. Have some of those charger things so you can charge your devices. How to turn off. Know where the water main valve is to turn off the water in case you get some pipes bursting and you get some water leaking into your, you know, domicile. Anyway, a lot of good stuff. Got a good advice from Papa Texas. It's been a you know, we were talking about how 2020 was such a weird year. 2021 is turning out to be just about as weird with all the politics and the crazy weather stuff and all that. Don't you think? Don't you think? Man, I don't know, man. I used to think, you know, I had the better beard, but now he's definitely got the better gray beard than, I don't know. I can't get it to go any longer than this. My beard's all getting kind of grizzled and falling apart. I don't know, man. My inspirational nomad continues to be looking around at Florida. I still think he's planning to get off the road and just kind of hunker down in Florida. Why? Florida versus New Jersey. Which would you pick? Oh my goodness, Missouri is going to shut down the electrical grid indefinitely. Little house off the grid, Rob, there. Forever. No more electricity in Missouri. Can it be? Was that true? Oh my goodness. I'll have to watch that. Scary stuff. I think we're going to end it there. Thank you so much for watching. That ought to do it for the 17th of February 2021 for our morning show. We'll have some letters and more coming up this afternoon as always. Thanks for watching. Vlog Ender.